I'm giving a healthy twist to the classic chicken Waldorf salad with a naturally sweetened dressing that includes cottage cheese or Greek yogurt. I'm showing you how easy it is to make this for your next special occasion or to keep it in your fridge and enjoy throughout the week. It's a great way to enjoy leftover chicken, or you can quickly air fry a juicy chicken breast in less than 10 minutes. And as a delicious and fun gluten-free serving option, I'll show you how to make these beautiful spinach and brown rice flour crepes. They basically turn your salad into a vibrant, fresh taco that you can eat with your hands. For the chicken, you could easily use some leftover chicken from another meal or even a rotisserie chicken that's already cooked. I'm going to show you how easy it is to cook a piece of chicken in your air fryer. I think a simply seasoned chicken tastes great with this recipe because you want it to really absorb the dressing that you put on the salad. I'm starting with a piece of chicken inside of this plastic bag. Now, ideally we want the chicken to be the same thickness from one end to the other. So I'm just going to take my rolling pin, and of course you could use a mallet or any other heavy object you have in your kitchen, and I'm going to simply pound the chicken until it is an even thickness throughout. And what's really nice about the plastic bag is that it contains all of the chicken juice. This is definitely #satisfying. And then after pounding the chicken, I'm simply going to take a pair of tongs, pull out the chicken, and then I can place my chicken on top of my bag so that I can keep my cutting board clean. Now we do want to add a little bit of seasoning to the chicken before we put it in the air fryer. So I'm just going to take some avocado oil and spray the chicken, and then take some coarse sea salt, and I'm going to sprinkle that on top. Flip over the chicken breast and do the same to the other side. This is also a really good time to cut off any of the fatty pieces from your chicken. My air fryer has a removable tray and it has this little loop on top, so I'm just going to flip that upside down so that that's not poking into my chicken. And then you'll want to spray the inside of your basket or your tray with some of your oil, just so the chicken doesn't stick. And then we're just going to simply lower our chicken inside the basket. We'll just center it. And then the tray goes back into the air fryer. Then we'll set it for 9 minutes at 380 degrees. Now my air fryer will beep halfway through, reminding me to shake or to move my contents around. So if yours doesn't do that automatically, then you'll want to keep an eye on it, and around that 4.5 minute mark, you'll want to open your air fryer so that we can flip our chicken over. Well, my air fryer is beeping at me, letting me know that we've reached the halfway point. You can see the chicken almost looks fully cooked, but we're just going to go ahead and flip it over. And you notice that the other side is still a little bit pink, and then we'll put this back in, and then it will automatically continue cooking. And we will patiently wait another 4 minutes. I've owned many air fryers over the years, and this one is definitely my favorite because it has a window on the front. And so I can turn on the light at any time and peek inside and see how my food is doing. And that's a real game changer when it comes to air frying. All right, our timer just went off, letting us know that our chicken is done. But before we take it out, we want to check the internal temperature. And I cannot recommend enough having a good meat thermometer. So I'm going to go ahead and poke this inside our chicken, and we want to have a temperature of at least 165 degrees. That's at 171. Let's see, 165. So this chicken is cooked. If the temperature wasn't quite 165, you could go ahead and put it back into the air fryer for about another minute and then check it again. So you'll want to remove your chicken breast and then transfer it to a plate. And then you want to let it sit and rest so that all those juices get sucked right into that chicken, making it extra juicy and flavorful. And then we'll want to cool it completely before we chop it into our salad. So it works really well to make your chicken the day before or even the morning of, so that it has time to cool in the fridge. Now we can move on to making our healthy dressing. And the two ingredients I'm using to give this a healthy twist and to make it more nutrient dense is using cottage cheese as well as applesauce as a natural sweetener. A lot of people recognize the nutritional value of cottage cheese, but they can't quite get past the curdled texture of it. So we're going to blend our dressing, which will eliminate the texture. I'm going to use the chopper cup that comes with my immersion blender, but you could use any small chopper or blender. So we're going to begin with 1/3 cup of cottage cheese. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce. And since our salad already has apple chunks, the applesauce is just going to enhance that flavor. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, and extra light olive oil is my favorite. And to give it a little zing and flavor, we'll add a tablespoon of lemon juice, as well as 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Now, to help make this salad really easily digestible, I'm not going to be including any chopped onions, but of course you could if you prefer to. But to still get that delicious onion flavor, I'm going to go ahead and add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, as well as 1/4 teaspoon garlic, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon of dried dill. And then we simply put on the motorized lid and then we mix until it's well blended. And now we have the smooth and creamy, nutrient-dense, and naturally sweetened dressing. Now we can go ahead and add our dressing to our mixing bowl. And man, that smells good. Now I have a chicken breast that I cooked earlier and has been cooling in my fridge. And I've went ahead and already chopped up half of it. But you'll just want to take your chicken and with a knife just make some really nice fine chops of chicken breast. And you can cut these as small or as large as you would like to have them. So now we can go ahead and just add our chicken breast to our bowl. Next we'll want to add our sliced apples, and you can use any apple that you like. My favorite is Fuji apples because they have such a delicious sweetness to them and the texture is nice and firm. Depending on how large your apples are, you might go with a full apple or just half an apple. This Fuji happened to be quite large, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish chopping the rest of 1/2 of this apple. And you definitely do not have to have professional knife cutting skills to effectively cut your apple into small bite-sized pieces. And you can chop them as large or as fine as you like. So we're going to add 1 cup of chopped apples to our bowl. And to add a little more freshness as well as color, we're going to add a stalk of celery. I've already chopped up half of the stalk, but you'll want to chop this really small and fine, just so you have these really fresh little bite-sized crunchy pieces in your salad. So now we're going to add 1/2 cup of diced celery. And you can absolutely add more if you like. Now my favorite ingredient in this salad is definitely the grapes. And if you can find the purple grapes, they add a wonderful sweetness as well as a beautiful color to your salad. And with your grapes, you can choose to either cut them just in half, which gives you a little bit larger piece, or go ahead and cut them in half again. So now it's quartered and then you have a little bit smaller bite-sized pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump in a bunch of grapes that were cut into quarters, but then I also want to save a few grapes and I'm gonna garnish on the top that won't be mixed into the dressing. And with these grapes, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut them in half so that they really show off that beautiful color. And then I'll go ahead and just set these aside. And now that we have all of our ingredients in our bowl, we can go ahead and just mix it all together. And it's so beautiful seeing all those ingredients and the different colors and textures. Well, that looks amazing and it smells so good. Now to finish off this salad, we definitely want to add a little more crunch as well as some nutrition and some protein in the form of nuts. And you can absolutely use your favorite kind. You could use slivered almonds, you could use walnuts, you could use pecans. My favorite happens to be cashews, but especially toasted cashews. I'm going to show you how you can toast your own in just a couple of minutes. To simply toast our cashews, we're going to just put about a teaspoon of butter into a saucepan at about medium heat. And then just dump in about 1/3 cup of our cashews. And then give them a couple little pinches of salt and then stir them around so they get coated in that butter. And when it starts to smell like movie popcorn, you know they're starting to toast. And you can see they'll start to brown pretty quickly, so you'll want to keep an eye on them after about a minute. And then keep stirring until they get to the desired toastedness. All right, those look great. So I'm gonna remove those from heat. And then I'm just gonna take a piece of paper towel and put it on a plate and then drop the nuts right onto it. And then that will help soak up any of the excess butter. Well, color equals flavor, so now we have some delicious flavor on these toasted cashews. Now I'll show you how easy it is to make what I consider a cross between crepe meets soft taco meets pancake, which basically gives you this really healthy and savory little soft taco that you can fill with your salad to eat it by hand. So we're gonna start by pouring 1 cup of milk into a blender, and I'm using almond milk. And then to get our beautiful green color, we're going to add about 2 cups of fresh spinach, which is basically kind of 1 big handful. And you can just scoosh that down into your blender. And then we'll just screw on our lid and let that mix until we don't see any more little leaf chunks. All right, That color is beautiful, and that's definitely Mother Nature's natural food coloring at work. To make our batter, we're going to pour in our milk and spinach mixture, and then we're going to add 1 cup of brown rice flour. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons of oil, and extra light olive oil is my favorite. And to give these just a really subtle, savory seasoning, I'm adding a trio of half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of onion powder. So this batter will be a little bit thinner than a pancake batter, but then a little bit thicker than a crepe batter. Well, this is definitely real television because I almost forgot to add our 2 eggs. So I'm going to add those in and then give it a good mix. Go ahead and just pour in about 1/4 cup of batter. I'll spread that all around in a nice circle. And then as soon as you see the bubbles all the way around, we can go ahead and give this a flip. Well, I cannot get over how cute these are. The color is just absolutely beautiful, and they have this really fun texture to them. And they already have a little nice curl to them, which makes them the perfect little soft taco shell. I'm not sure if you could hear it, but my stomach just growled. So let's move on to assembling this salad. If you're serving this salad at an event, you can make a really pretty presentation by simply lining a bowl with some lettuce leaves. And then we can go ahead and just dump our salad right into the middle of it. And it's a really beautiful contrast of the light colors of the chicken and the apples with those fresh green lettuce leaves. And then to really bring out that beautiful purple reddish color, we can add some of our half-cut grapes to the top. And we can just place them sporadically or artistically, or however we like. And then we can't forget about our toasted cashews, so we can go ahead and add a few of those to the top. And I prefer to add them afterwards just so they don't absorb the moisture of the sauce and go a little bit soft. And to add even a little more color, I went ahead and chopped up just a little bit of green onion, so we can sprinkle some of those on the top as well. And that will just enhance the natural onion flavor that is already in the salad from the onion powder that we included. Well, that looks absolutely gorgeous and vibrant and fresh, but I am dying to try some inside of my little spinach soft taco shells. So we're gonna go ahead and just take one here and dish some salad right into the middle of it. And you could serve these right next to your salad and your guests could assemble them yourselves, or you could make up a bunch of them. And then we could also add our little extra grape garnishes on the top, as well as a few of our toasted cashews. And we don't want to leave out just a couple of our little green onions. That is so cute. Now for the best part. That is so delicious. The flavors keep getting better and better. That is like a flavor explosion of sweet and savory. First, I get the soft texture of the spinach grape that just has those really subtle savory flavors in it. And then I get the sweetness of the sauce. And then I bite into some of the apple as well as the chicken, and I get their natural sweet flavor. And then I get a little bit of the crunch from the cashew, and then a little bit more savory from the green onion. All together, that is absolutely delicious, and the aftertaste is just as good. As I'm looking at this Waldorf chicken salad soft taco, I'm realizing you could also serve this open-faced. You could just put the little crepe down on your plate and then dish your salad on top and just spread it around, and then put your pretty garnishes right on the top. And then you could easily just go into it with a fork and be able to enjoy it this way too. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today to make my healthy twist on the classic chicken Waldorf salad. And I included a link in the video description below for the full recipe. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen next time.